Good day, loves.
4 minutes before 7 o'clock.
Wow.
How y'all doing?
Welcome to this moment.
Yes.
I am Coach Tensi.
I'm Coach Soul.
And we are Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom. And
Yes.
This whole podcast is the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast, where every day of your work week, we are diving into 5 different elements. So we dive into one element of our 5-prong healing system. This is our 5-step framework. And these are the elements that if you can do these things, and you can, in a given day, all 5 of these elements, you are setting yourself up to really find consistency in holistic health and fulfillment in the direction of what you consider freedom to be. And that's what it's all about. So today's topic.
It consists of the concepts be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. Today is Wednesday, so it's Fuel Day.
Yes, it is.
And that's very exciting because we're talking about fueling your freedom today.
Feeling your freedom.
So sometimes most of the time, I should say, when we get into Fuel Day in the week, we're talking about consumption of food and nutritional, supplements and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Probiotics, all of that stuff.
All the things that fill our cup in different ways.
But today, more of a mental, emotional, spiritual fuel, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're talking about fueling your freedom. So what it means to thrive with purpose and connection, and to fill your cup with actions that align with where you want to go, who you want to be when you get there.
Who you want to be when you grow up. You feel me? Working moms, we are constantly on this journey of reevaluating life, balancing work, balancing our passions if we can, and balancing home life and self-care. And so this is something that is near and dear to my heart, because filling your cup is vital if you wish to truly make an impact. We're not even talking about the world right now. We're talking about on your family for the moment. If you want to make an impact on yourself, if you want to be the person that actually shows up, does the thing that you believe in is right, and consistently does that, it's about these little moments, these little steps. And when we think of filling a cup, we think of, okay, why are we filling up a cup? And some people say to pour into others. But I was watching this podcast and it just clicked in my mind when it was, I don't know if anyone follows Dr. Bobby Price. I know some of our clients do. He was talking about, you don't want to pour from your cup. You want your cup to overflow so much that overflow is what fills the other cups. So it's a little different from, like if you're an energy healer, like we are energy healers, you never want to give of your own energy. You connect to the source and you give of that energy. You get what I'm saying? You give from an infinite flow. You tap into an infinite source first, fill up, and that overflow pours through you into others.
Right. And that's why we talk so much about being and acting and behaving from your thrive zone, or within your thrive zone.
Yes.
Your thrive zone is the zone where what you need, what you love, and what you're ready for or called to meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the zone of where you want to be acting from, what you want to be acting on behalf of, is what brings you more in alignment with your thrive zone, what brings you further deeper into your thrive zone.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it in previous episodes. So basically, what you need is what you need physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What you love is what you love to do. what you are ready for or called to is what you feel is your next natural step
Yeah.
toward whatever, you know, the actions that you're getting ready to take are moving you towards. What's the next natural step? What do you call it to next? And sometimes that takes a little bit of contemplation, but sometimes it's also very natural and very spontaneous.
And this is so, so incredibly important because, well, let me just like tell you a little bit about how we kind of came up with it, what prompted this to even be a thing. Um, there, like everyone remembers when everything, the whole world shut down in 2020,
Hmm.
and there was this time where I was going through a crazy transition. I had just uh, reached the one of the lowest points that I had ever been at emotionally and spiritually and mentally. I was drained. I was crazy anxious, um, trying to figure out, pick up the pieces of my life, and I knew that okay, well, I feel like I'm at rock bottom, so well, I can either follow someone else's template for what my life should look like, which will ultimately be unfulfilling and just send me down another tangent or a pathway where I will eventually need to come back and figure out what I want my life to look like anyway. Or I can start to ask myself some really interesting questions of like, what do I really want? What do I really, what do I truly wish for in my life? If I truly got everything that I desired, what would that be, and why do I desire that? And so I was listening to all these spiritual books and on YouTube and all these spiritual gurus and trying to like ground myself emotionally. Imagine me sitting outside barefoot with just sitting on the grass with a journal and earbuds in and just trying to soak in as much wisdom and truth as I can, to just clinging on to any kind of piece of truth that I could, just to find as an anchor. Like I needed an anchor in my life, and these audiobooks and spiritual teachings were that. So in that process, one thing that came up in one of the books I was listening to, it's the name is escaping me, but I can think of the cover. Oh, The Way of Mastery.
Mm.
There's The Way of Mastery, and it was like the one that was about the heart or something like that. It was a book series anyway, and it was this channeled wisdom of Yeshua or whatever, and it was talking about, okay, there was this exercise that you can do where it was mapping out your desire 7 times 7. So I did this exercise just as they said, and it was really reflecting on what is it that I truly want and finding the thread in all of the things that came up day after day after day after day of journaling. And when I figured out what it was, I was like, oh my gosh.
It's like you come to the answer, not to cut you off, but it's like you come to the answer to the question, if nothing is missing, what does my life look like?
Yes. If nothing is missing, what does my life look like? What does it look like now? What can it look like? And what will it look like? So I began to write down. I got a coach, and I began to um, do what the coach said to do to realign with my vision of freedom. And one of the things she said was to write it down as it came, right? So over days, I would carve out 30 minutes here, there, and just start to write, go somewhere alone, sometimes in my closet, sometimes outside sitting on the grass. And for spurts of time, I would write down what it looked like, what it smelled like, what it felt like, to the point that I would be brought to tears just writing it down. And I'm an emotional person, so that's easy for me. But it just felt so right. And I knew when it felt complete, when it felt right, when all the themes were being represented of all the things that I knew I would need to be in my life, I would love to be in my life, and I would be ready for it. It would be sustainable for me to keep in my life. Um, then I knew it was done, and I was ready to take little steps toward that. Yeah.
So that's how we came to what the Thrive Zone um, concept has blossomed into, right? That's the origins
Mm.
of the Thrive Zone, is understanding deep questions that can bring you into a relationship with where you're going before you get there. And so, what you love, what you need, and what you're called to, or what you're ready for, what's your next natural step, that the zone where those things meet is your Thrive Zone. So, we want to be, again, filling our cup with source energy in relation or in relationship with our Thrive Zone, right? So, we don't want to model anyone else's um, version of ascension, right? We can model the outside, the surface of it, but the internal, we don't want to try and think how they think. We don't want to try and feel how they feel. We don't want to try. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And it's a road of disappointment, right? Just
Yes.
like trying to become your idol is a road of disappointment. Just like trying to become the person that's best in your sport and like be them, it's a road of disappointment. You cannot think, feel, or be somebody else.
And I think that was one of the reasons why I'd come to such a low point, because I was constantly putting aside my own truths, honest expressions, how I would do things, and just trying to copy or model what some successful person that's in this area is
Right.
doing verbatim. You know,
Right. And it doesn't work like that.
it doesn't.
And so some of the things that you can do are trying new things out
Mm.
that are in alignment with the natural flow of human evolution, you could say, or human connection. So some of the things that we recommend um, are volunteering for different engaging, community activities. I'm trying to think of a specific word, but community-based initiatives, volunteering for those, participating in community gardens,
And yeah, if your goal is
feeding.
to grow your own food one day, or have your own food on your own land,
Mhm,
which that's part of my goal, so that could be something that's in the direction of that.
mhm. You can often find, where the community gardens and stuff are on like Facebook, social media, as well as Google search or Brave search.
Hmm.
Just searching your city and community garden, and it'll bring up all the different locations. Somebody wrote an article on it by now. Trust me.
Oh yeah, several people, and local farms.
Local farms, yeah.
Farmers markets. I mean, well, probably not for volunteering, but local farms and community gardens.
Right. Connecting with like-minded people that are doing something that you're interested in. So let's say you're interested in learning Chinese. You can connect with a group locally or virtually.
Hmm.
Maybe somebody in Cincinnati if you're in Texas, um, that is also interested and already has like a little group going where
Mhm.
there's a study group learning Chinese, and you just join in, and now you have a space that you can look forward to a couple times a week or every month or whatever the frequency is, and you're connecting with like-minded individuals, right?
Yes.
And moving from your Thrive Zone in relationship to learning Chinese,
Yeah.
or learning how to cook vegetarian, or learning um, different tips for fitness and practicing them, whatever it
Mhm.
is, connecting with like-minded individuals. And again, it's highly recommended to try and find people locally, right, that you can shake hands with. But uh, there's also just this great thing called the internet where you don't have to.
Yeah.
And then just taking daily small steps individually, by yourself towards your goals. Um, if your goals are in weight loss, if your goals are in getting your
Reversing.
vitals to proper levels, if your
Mm.
goals are in increasing weight for sport, if your goals, whatever your goals are in regard to your health and wellness, if your goals are spiritual, right? If you want to release your attachment to being so angry or so sad or so whatever, and you have a
Mm.
spiritual ascension based set of goals.
Yeah, releasing
um
guilt or
daily
shame or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, guilt, shame. Daily small steps are hard to get behind, admittedly, right? They're not the easiest thing to stay committed to because sometimes they don't really feel like progress. But daily small steps are how you remain intentional about reaching the goal. And they're how you remain realistic about when you'll get there.
Yes.
It's also how you'll learn to fall in love with the journey and not just the destination,
Mm.
right? Because if you fall in love with the destination, you'll start to hate who you are now.
Ah, yes. It's and the perfectionist bug will creep in, and you'll be like, nothing's good enough. And that will bleed out into everything that you do. Okay? Because that attitude, that energy, it if it's in one place, it's in all places at
Yeah.
some level. So
Financially, my biggest obstacle when it comes to my own financial goals is I'd fall in love with the destination so much, I start to hate where I'm at.
mm,
Right? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. That's why I'm saying that, because it's true. It's very easy to fall into the habit of, you know, unless this is what it looks like now, I'm not happy or
mm,
whatever.
yes.
So
And that
daily small
same,
steps. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
just to expand a little bit on that, because on this health journey, especially if you have any sort of chronic condition or autoimmune disease, whatever it is, or you're trying to just lose weight, something like that, there is this repeated story of there's this image of who you want to be, and then there's this instant resistance because you realize the gap between where you want to go, who you want to be, and the size of your body, or how you're carrying yourself is just more graceful or sexy in certain ways, and noticing the difference between that and where you are now sometimes is like being hit upside the head with a bag of bricks, because it if we're not coming from the mindset of one foot in that vision and the other foot here on the ground here appreciating right now, then it
Then all we see is the mountain we have to climb to get there.
it's daunting. You keep like doubting yourself and stopping and then going back and
Yep.
trying something else and then stopping and going, and it's this endless cycle that
Hit the
drives us
comments if
crazy.
you yeah hit the comments if you're familiar with that feeling where you have a goal, you see where you're at now, you see where you want to be, and then all you can see is the mountain you have to climb to get there,
Yeah.
right? Versus having a goal and then seeing the incremental steps that you have to take and keeping the goal in mind, but also enjoying the journey of taking these incremental steps and meeting the challenges along the way.
Yeah, celebrating the micro wins,
Yeah.
and sharing the journey with a buddy that actually gets it.
Yep. Like-minded individuals. So along this journey, you'll want to be fueling your body. Your body is your temple, your vessel, your greatest lifelong companion is
Yes.
your body. So you want to be fueling your body with physical activity, with live, healthy, whole food, with good quality water as much as you can.
And with, oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, and with fun. With fun.
Yeah.
With
But
fun. Stuff that
although
you enjoy. Stuff that you enjoy. So the things that bring you fulfillment, to eat them, to maybe you really like this, like you get excited when you think of certain foods, then
yeah, I was excited yesterday.
yeah, you got to incorporate that too. So if you get excited thinking of having a little something like pizza, and you know that your habits, you're trying to stay healthy, then designate one day a week where one meal is gonna be that thing.
Right.
One meal.
And aside from fueling your body, you'll also want to fuel your mind and spirit. So, and by mind, I mean your mental capacities and your emotional spectrum. You'll want to fuel those. And fueling is not just content, it's quality content, right? You want to fuel your mind and spirit with things like my new book, for instance, Culture Control. Is the
Yeah.
title of my new book, and you can and I'll put it in the comments. I think I forgot last time to put it in the comments on Instagram. Hopefully you remembered, but either way,
It's in the link in our bio.
it's in the link in our bio for Instagram, it's in the link in our about for Facebook, and it's in the description of YouTube, this video on YouTube. But my book is called Culture Control, right? And this book explores our relationship to our responsibility and how, as human beings, and how that translates to the amount of freedom that we experience on a day-to-day basis. And it's a moral discussion, and it's a historical exploration, and it's all of these things. So
it's so much more than that too. It's like it you just get ready, because it's a book that really shifts your paradigm a whole lot. You're gonna like start it and you're gonna be like, yeah, wow, that's where I'm at right now. and that resonates. And then you're gonna keep reading and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. Wow, I did not even think of it like that. But yes, that is what's happening. And then it's just clicking things into place for you and challenging and getting you to think through certain things that maybe you wouldn't have even considered before. And it's a powerful, powerful reading. Like, it's a book club staple. Like, it's
my book is a book club staple. I like that.
It's like, it's necessary.
So stuff like that, this podcast, right? Other forms of quality, somewhat challenging, at least sometimes, and responsible content that you feed your mind, and feeding your spirit with silence, and alert silence, not just sleep time or daydream time, but alert silence. Fueling your spirit with nature.
Yes.
Fueling your spirit with gratitude.
And journaling.
Fueling your spirit with doing things scared, doing things unmotivated, doing things sort of that you need to do regardless, being response-able.
Being response-able. You're not just reacting. You are able to make to respond in a way that is in alignment with what you truly wish for.
Yeah, and in your thrive zone.
Yes.
Other than that, I hope this episode was fueling for you.
We have an announcement. We have an event coming up.
Oh, yes, we have an event. Oh, my gosh.
I want to tell you all about it. Okay, so get your
got a couple
calendars
events,
ready.
First,
okay.
Austin.
Yes.
Austin, Texas.
Yes, go ahead.
Or people that just want to come down to Austin, Texas in the near future. At the end of this month, October 24th, 25th, and 26th, as well as the beginning of next month, November 1st and 2nd, I will be participating in something.
Hip Hop Theater Explosion.
I will be participating in a show series, a series of showcases called Hip Hop Theater Explosion, put on by Zell Miller. Sorry, I had to burp at the most awkward time. But that's going on, and I'll be doing 18, 18 pieces, 18 individual, songs and poems, mostly songs,
Spread out, right?
spread out through the 5, and I'll be on stage all 5 days. So really excited doing. I'm trying to do 3 things per day, but one of my songs is 7 minutes long, so I'll probably just do 2 that day. And it's the theater showcase where we do the performances, but also at the end there's a cipher, and all MCs, all poets, all speakers, like motivational speakers, if you have something to say off the top of your head, then you come and join the cipher at the end, even if you're just an audience member. It's going to be really great.
Gosh, that is amazing.
I guess you didn't know that
I didn't
part.
know about the cipher part. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought it was a performance, and then that was kind of the extent, and then maybe some vendors at the end or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there'll be merch, and there will be whole body butter,
Yes. So if
and there
you
will
are
be our daughter Omi.
getting low on your container of whole body butter like I am, then
So come through Austin, Texas. It's
Yeah.
going to be at Hyde Park Theater. Check it out.
Second, there's
Secondly.
an event for artists, a mindfulness event hosted. First of all, it's hosted by Mind Pop, which is a local nonprofit. But the facilitator, the coach, is going to be Coach Soul, and he's going to lead a meditation of the heart session for those that are creatives, art educators, independent artists or teaching artists or beyond, just anything that touches creativity through the lens of mindfulness, so that you can, break through the limiting cycles. And I want you to kind of speak on it.
Yeah, so it's called Meditation of the Heart, and basically we're going to come together. We're going to learn what meditation is, its relationship to neuroscience and like our psychology, and our physical brain, as well as various methods of tapping into a meditative state. We're going to talk about regular silent sitting meditation. We're going to talk about answer seeking meditation, where you're seeking an answer, where you're becoming silent so that something can come to you that's profound and aligned with your next natural step. We're going to talk about active meditation, where you're doing something, washing the dishes, taking a walk, petting your dog. It doesn't matter. Bookkeeping, right? Answering emails that don't require a whole lot of thought and imagination. Active meditation, drawing, coloring, right? Active meditation is when you tap into a meditative state without stopping activity, which brings you into further relationship with the truth that I am not my body, I am not my mind, I am not my story alone. There is something more intimate and vaster and bigger that is me, truly me, and my story and my actions and my body and my mind and my emotions are happening within this greater me. And so active meditation is about expanding your relationship with that knowledge, which is the deepest knowledge in our human experience. Hello.
And
Hi.
that event is happening November 19th, and it's I think it starts at 11 a.m.
I believe so.
I think it starts at
I don't
11
remember
a.m.
where.
We will update the link tree later today with
Yes.
A button on there, so that you can just see all of the events in one place.
Which is, it's the same link in the description on YouTube, same link in the Facebook and Instagram bios, if you will.
And for those that just need the link right now, just to write this down, okay?
It's linktr.ee/Ufulu Child, spelled like our channels.
Yes. Yay. So last event coming up is almost last event. I will be facilitating or co-facilitating a 6-part series with the Sustainable Food Center. This starts this Saturday, October 12th, and it goes every Saturday except for the week of Thanksgiving. So it skips that one and keeps going. It's free. It's a nutrition and cooking demo type class, and Omi is awake. And if you would like to participate, we source the produce locally. It's seasonal and it's organic. Okay. So that's going down. It's free groceries. It's a free recipe that you learn every week. And it's free education that you get on nutrition every week. And at the end of it, we have a potluck and it's fun. Okay. So stay tuned for that. The link to sign up, I'll add in to the link tree as well by the end of today. It'll everything will be on there. Okay. And then the last event is the Thrive Zone.
Thrive Zone will be
Yeah.
Thrive Zone will be January 18th, I believe, and it's going to be such an amazing event. First, we'll start off with a concert featuring us, featuring other Austin artists. Then we'll move into a sound bath / meditation led by me and the sound bath sounds by Tensi, Coach Tensi. And then we're going to, the meat and potatoes of the Thrive Zone event is the True Reflection Circle, which is a presentation, curated slides and knowledge and discussion, facilitated by me, but also co-led by everyone who's there, as the discussion is the meat and potatoes of the True Reflection Circle. That's why Circle is in the name. And then after the True Reflection Circle, we have a wonderful intentional movement, sort of
Stepping into your freedom vision, embodiment
of your freedom vision, dance and intentional movement session led by local Austin facilitators. And then at the end, we have another Ufu Child, Thrive Zone presentation that we'll do for you guys. It's going to be really, really amazing. January 18th. Tickets not made yet. Tickets not available yet. So that information may be in the link tree very soon, but the tickets will be made available in the link tree when the tickets are when the ticketing, apparatus is out there.
Yes, and this event is for working mamas in mind. So this is something to where you can bring your babies and your kids and your family, and there will be on-site child activities for the babies, and they'll be able to participate in the movement sessions and in a community art wall and create healing things with the different workshop facilitators as well. So there's a little something for you, there's a little something for them. And we are really excited because we're reaching out to people. So if you're interested if you are a community member that brings healing things into the community, whether it's holistic health or art or whatever it is, reach out to us to see, like, if you'd like to be involved in this in some way, reach out to us. And
we'll see you guys tomorrow for Move Day.
Boom shakalaka. Take good care, love. Peace.